Welcome back to New Rockstars. This is Big Question, the show that gives you too much information about the logistics of wumbo-sized primate reptile warfare.
Patrick, I don't think wumbo is a real word.
My name is MT, and I am here today with the always wonderful and amazing Tommy Bechtold. How you doing, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm doing great now after that introduction. Whoa, I got a pep in my step. Oh, my Lord. Woo!
I've been dying to do one of these with you, man. So, this is going to be really cool. It's going to be great. But Godzilla vs. Kong finally gave us the showdown of the millennium with these two alpha titans from the Monsterverse. However, the fight was ultimately rudely interrupted when a larger, more mechanized threat emerged and, postponed the fight for the greater good. But this has all left us all wondering who would really win in the Godzilla vs. Kong fight if it really went down, Tommy.
You know what? The corporate media, okay? The people that would advertise. No, I'm just kidding. As I rant into a camera. All right, let's talk about it. Godzilla and Kong are alpha titans protecting Earth from other evil kaiju that want to do us in. Yes, their form of protection can be somewhat destructive to our cities. Not great for the real estate market unless you're in construction. But it's hard not to wipe out a few buildings when you're as big and as massive as they are. Just ask me, when I'm walking in like a tiny Rite Aid, like where it's like the little miniature Rite Aids, and I'm trying to walk through like the soap section to get to my Pepto-Bismol, I kind of feel like Godzilla, just marching through, big elbows everywhere.
Exactly. Right. Dude, the world is just too small for bigger men like us, because I be knocking shit over all the time with these long limbs.
Absolutely.
I don't know why God gave me these long limbs, but that's...
You know what? Maybe you were meant to reach things for short people. I think that's what it is.
That's what I do all the time. Old ladies love me at the supermarket. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, you can't reach that. Life alert? I've got it for you, my friend.
They're like, you're a superhero.
Yes.
All right. So in the film, Godzilla vs. Kong, it really seems like Godzilla has the upper hand on Kong before being forced to deal with Mechagodzilla. But would this really be the case? Would Kong actually have a chance at beating Godzilla? Let's break it down by looking at the stats and fighting styles of these two behemoths. The tale of the tape.
Break it down, Tommy.
All right. Let's take a look at some of the stats we see during the opening credits of the film. First up, it's King Kong. Height.
King Kong.
Standing tall at 337 feet tall. They list his weight at 158 tons. He's working on it. Don't judge him. The holidays were rough for everyone.
That's a big bitch, Tommy. That's a big bitch.
He's thick. However, this was a stat from the 1973 version of Kong, so adjusted for inflation, he weighs 1 million pounds.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
Let's see. Since he has pretty much tripled in height since then, we can extrapolate his current weight and assume his proportions are the same. That would put him in at about 4,226 tons. That's a lot of cheat days. Damn. Now, let's talk about intelligence. He's highly adaptive and resourceful. He uses tools, as we know. He knows all about handprint technology. Put the handprint in the handprint. He's smarter than me, that's for sure. Strength, he's immensely powerful. We'll just define his strength as, he's just crazy. He's yoked. Durability, tough and resilient. Great recuperative powers. Okay, that's nice. I'd like to have recuperative powers for my hangovers. Weaknesses, susceptible to flammable attacks, and he's a weakness like all of us for beautiful eyes. Okay, he can't say no to a woman with beautiful eyes. I made that up. I don't know if that's true. Godzilla! Let's talk about the G-Man. Our Godzilla is an awesome Godzilla. Height, 393 feet tall with a length of 582 feet. Wow.
Damn. That is very tall, man.
Yes, that is.
Consider a career in the NBA, because that's a baller right there.
That's a power forward minimum. Probably a center. And his weight is 164,000 tons. That's a significant weight advantage if I'm doing my math right. His blood volume is 530,000 gallons. For those of you that are keeping blood volume stats. His walking speed...
That's around, my blood volume. I'm around, 529,000, so, we're comparable.
So that's good to know. If you're looking for Godzilla gains, you don't have far to go. His walking speed is 18 miles per hour, but that's usually because he just doesn't feel like he's in a hurry, I think. I bet you he can run. I wonder what his 40 time is. Come on! All right, his tensile strength of bones, 3,000 MPS, which is a megapascal, which is a unit of measurement I won't even pretend to understand. It's a unit of measurement that they primarily use Pedro Pascal as the perfect. Units. Yes, it's a Mandalorian. Yeah, I heard that's how the metric system is going. It's evolving to using Pedro Pascal units. It's very handy, Tommy. I would be totally fine if, as a society, we move towards a Pedro Pascal based way of life. Where we just that's what I've been saying ever since season 1 of The Mandalorian. Yes. I was like, this show is great. Why am I not measuring via Pascals? Yeah, chime in on the comments, all my Pascal pals. All right, don't be shy. Atomic breath energy yield. Yes, that's that atomic ray he blasts out of his mouth. That hot breath. That's some indigestion. That's 3.15 times 1014 joules. 10 to the 14th power. Now, joules, I'm not talking about those cool little e-cigs you teens think you got figured out. You're going to kill yourself with those. These are nuclear joules. Heat, measures of heat, I believe. And those will kill you faster, to be honest. One way or another, a joule's going to get you, I guess. Godzilla be hitting the joule first and then blowing it out. That explains it. That's why he always looks so cool. Oh god, that's going to be memed. Conclusion. What can we conclude? These stats would appear to give Godzilla the advantage. He's got a little more height on Kong. He's also longer and heavier. Godzilla also has that atomic breath coming from his internal nuclear power source. On the other side, it's much easier for Kong to gas out since all he has to do rely on is his regular old metabolism. However, let's not count out Kong completely. He has a serious reach advantage on Godzilla. Kong has massive, long, and powerful arms. Meanwhile, Godzilla has a much weaker, shorter arms. Having a reach advantage in fighting in sports and MMA is a serious thing. I remember, I'm older than you, there was a big fad in the early 2000s, late 90s of making celebrities fight each other. So there was celebrity boxing. This is not just a Beverly Hills nightclub. This was they really got into the boxing ring. And I remember Manute Bol, the basketball player who's 7'7", was boxing. I want to say it was either Butterbean, the big fat boxer, or an NFL lineman. And I swear to God, they weighed the same because Manute Bol was so tall. He weighed 340 pounds. They weighed the same, and that dude did not touch Manute Bol. You would have been he's going to kill him. Because he's so much heavier, or he's so much stouter. Manute Bol just held his arms out and was boom, boom, boom. And he just exhausted him. So, Kong might be able to exhaust Godzilla. Yeah, because he has that long arm reach, man. He should have done it. It's all about the reach. Now, there is a term called Ape Index in fighting, and that refers to your arm span relative to your height. This is calculated by subtracting your height from your arm span. Most humans have a neutral ratio. Their arm span and height is roughly the same, but some have a higher Ape Index. For example, the boxer Sonny Liston was 73 inches tall, but had a reach of 84 inches, giving him a positive Ape Index of 11 inches. Whoa. Wow. An extra 11 inches. That would come in real handy in other places, my friend. Yes. What about my Ape Index? -3? I hate being Irish. All right. It just goes inside like a scared turtle. Whenever I'm confronted by Titans, of course. That's the only thing I'm talking about. Okay, we also can't ignore the intake. Good God. My mom watches these. Good. We also can't ignore... And by the way, Mom, why are you watching this? You don't care about Godzilla versus Kong. Stop supporting me. Turn off Tommy's mom. Her other kids are engineers and nurses. They're the ones you should be watching. Me, I'm a professional idiot. It's because she loves you, Tommy. She does. I am her favorite because I'm the nicest. All right. We also can't ignore the intangibles. Kong has a massive mammal brain, giving him a huge intelligence advantage. He's able to use tools and think strategically, while Godzilla's reptile brain will have him constantly taking the quickest, most destructive attack technique. The opening credits also give us a look at some of the previous monsters R2 Alphas have faced in the past. So let's dive into their strength of schedule to see what training has been done by both champions to bring us to this moment. Let's take a look at some of Kong's foes first. In the credits, they list a giant squid, Skrullcrawlers, which are now considered titans, I guess, and a mysterious titan. They don't really make clear which titan this is, so this is just some other foe that he's fought. Then we also have Godzilla's foes. We know in the first Godzilla, he fought MUTO, massive unidentified terrestrial organism. He also fought Ghidorah, and then there were some other monsters that bowed down to Ghidorah, and then bowed down to Godzilla. So he may have beaten them too off screen. Those include Rodan, Scylla, Behemoth, Methuselah, and of course the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
They got their ass beat twice.
Yes, that's right. They did. They got their asses kicked. And former Toronto Mayor Rob Ford as well. May he rest in peace. Did once fight Godzilla. The breaks they show in the credits show us more of the Godzilla side than the Kong side, but it's clear that Godzilla has faced the more impressive monsters. He's just got a better list of opponents. But don't count out Kong here either. While Godzilla has faced the big names, Kong is putting in the reps. He's got to eat, remember. So he's killing Skrullcrawlers and giant squids all the time on his island. If he feels like calamari, he's got to go out there and kill a giant squid. Okay? He can't just order it up. And Kong usually is on his own in these fights, while Godzilla has the aid of some humans to help him win the battle. So, let's not count him out.
It's true.
Now, that's right.
It's true. Kong is out here hunting his food on his own, while every time Godzilla comes up to fight somebody, the U.S. military or whatever military is around him is usually helping him out in some way. So
that's very true. So never underestimate the helpfulness of the U.S. military. Oh my God!
This is an army ad.
Enlist.
Join the army, kids. They'll take care of you, probably. I don't know. Maybe
no
not.
one's making me say that. No one is making me say that. Obviously, thank you to everyone who serves in the army.
Yes.
I'm just saying that in the Godzilla movies, they may not always have the best intentions, and only in the Godzilla movies. Everywhere else, they're totally fine. All right. Yes. Godzilla and Kong go for more or less 3 rounds in the film, so let's go to the tape to break it down. The first fight is on the open ocean. This is a total advantage for Godzilla. For one, he's not chained up. He can swim quite easily and stay submerged for long periods of time. Kong, on the other hand, is an oxygen-breathing mammalian-type titan.
Big mistake. Shouldn't have done it.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
That's true. He's not meant for open water combat. He's not meant for it. But that doesn't mean he's not going to be good at it. Godzilla should have totally won this fight, but he just backs off because he thinks Kong is dead in the water. Brilliant strategy by both Alexander Skarsgård and Kong to just play dead. But I don't think it's completely fair to put this one in the L column for Kong. The circumstances were outside of his control. Kong would never be out in the open ocean on his own. Obviously, terrible human beings have once again captured an animal and brought it outside of the zone where it will most thrive in order to serve their selfish needs. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, we animals up.
That's their whole jam. Like,
That's
Kong
right.
has no business in the middle of the ocean. Zero business.
Guess where Kong would be super happy? On his island, eating pterodactyls. That's what he wants to do.
He was just chilling. He was minding his own business, and then the human just came, picked his ass up, and chained him on a boat. And then he got his ass kicked.
Exactly. And you know that we as humans understand we shouldn't be doing this to animals, because I am watching a giant computer-rendered, not real thing being chained up to a boat, and I'm like, this is wrong! They should not do this to
That's
Kong!
enough! End this movie right now!
It's time to stop! It's like, you do realize King Kong's not real. He could be. We don't know that.
Seriously, they were treating this man with the most disrespect, and they didn't even tell him what was going on, really.
He was just
disrespected.
like, hey. And they kept him doped up so that he wouldn't get angry. Come on. You wouldn't like him when he's angry, you cowards. Round 2. This is their first battle in Hong Kong. Godzilla has blasted down to the Hollow Earth and challenged Kong to a fairer fight on land. Kong emerges from the hole, with an atomic radiation absorbing axe. That big brain coming into play. Come on, this is how you counter an atomic being. You get an axe that can absorb it. God, I want that axe for my house, just for walking around. Could you imagine?
Would you fit in your house, dude?
Roommates start acting up. I'm bringing out the axe.
It's the whole atomic axe. You really said
that
now, Jared.
The cable bill is due. Don't make me bring out the axe. All right. Kong is able to show off his agility and speed on land. This, again, is a big advantage for Kong. He's able to dodge a lot of attacks and even blocks an atomic blast with the axe, which is one of my favorite scenes in the trailer.
Yes.
When he dunks the energy back into Godzilla's face. I could watch that.
When I saw that in the trailer, I lost it. I was like, this movie's going to be so much fun.
Yes, absolutely. Kong's reach also enables him to throw some devastating punches, which Godzilla can't block with those stubby little arms. He has used his tail to block punches in past Godzilla films, but I don't think he can keep up with Kong punching with both arms. I mean, that's a lot of tail strength. That's right. Duck and weave. In round 2, Kong takes the win with a knockout blow from the axe. Neither Titan is dead, but they both take a moment to rest in their corners.
Like any good fight, you just got to rest in the corner, you know what I'm saying? It builds up tension, you know what I'm saying?
Everyone go to your corners, think about what you did.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I would love if Godzilla and Kong both had coaches.
Yes. Get back in there, Kong! He's killing you!
Go for the ribs. Don't let that bastard breathe.
So round 3. Big Brain Kong makes a smart move and ambushes Godzilla, who's just blindly looking for him. Kong goes for the chokeout, but is tossed by Godzilla, and that dislocates his shoulder. Ouch. Godzilla starts to attack his chest, pins him, and then roars in his face. This is a pretty definitive, devastating victory for Godzilla, because had he used his atomic breath, Kong's face would have been barbecued. But he didn't. And fortunately for Kong, Mechagodzilla emerges. Now the two frenemies have a new foe to face together. In the end, they go their separate ways. But I don't know about you, MT, but it seemed to me in the end that Kong kind of like knelt to Godzilla a little bit. Like it didn't seem like they were both facing off and then Kong kind of went like, they like animated him to kind of bow to him. Like not like subserviently, but just to kind of be like, there's no more fighting.
I think it was just more like a, hey man, you kicked my ass. I'm gonna take this L. Just leave me alone.
Listen, we beat that big robot up. Why don't we go kick it on our own islands for a few weeks, and then we can get back together, figure this out somewhere. Maybe we'll go to San Francisco and knock that down again. So it seems like the film makes it clear that Godzilla was the better Titan fighter, but is that really the case? Did Kong ever really have a fair chance? Had Kong's shoulder not been dislocated, I don't think he would have been pinned so easily.
I'm a big Kong guy. Like, going into this movie, I've been rooting for Kong, like, straight up. So I have a major Kong bias. But yeah, I really don't think that if his shoulders were 100% operational like my shoulders are, I think that it would have been a different fight. I think that it's quite possible for Godzilla to be overtaken by Kong. But that's just me and my monkey bias.
I completely agree with you. So, Kong's reach, agility, and super intelligence should make him a better fighter than Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla has a nuclear core for a heart and atomic breath, but hide behind a tall building and surprise him with a giant axe to the face, and you got yourself a victory. Yay! So, I mean, if there's a universe where Kong wins this, I think the respect these two beasts have for each other ultimately kept them from delivering the killing blows. I think that we've established in previous movies, both of these creatures, their nature is to protect, not to destroy, and then they only destroy when threatened. So I think that once they notice the other one is in a vulnerable position, the reason they wouldn't go from for the killing shot is because they realize that neither of them are truly evil. There were multiple times in the film where it seemed like one could have killed the other, but instead they backed off and lived to fight another day. So
yeah, they're just good dudes. They're like, you know what, we'll fight if we have to, but like we'd rather not.
The real question I need someone to answer for me is, can you explain to me how there is light in Hollow Earth? Why is there a sunlight?
Seriously, where is that coming from?
Are those just like stage lighting? I don't get it. Drop us a comment if you know.
All right, thank you for that information, Tommy. That was very informational. Damn. But we are going to dive into our bite-sized questions next. But first, a word from some of the folks that help us bring Big Question to you. And who is our first sponsor of the day, Tomathan?
Let's talk about honey, baby. Honey. We've all seen that promo code field. Taunt us at the checkout while in shopping online. Enter a code, get a discount. I don't have a code. I'm not one of the cool kids. The only codes I had growing up were these two hands. Well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. You can feel like a cool kid too. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones it finds right into your cart. When you check out, the Honey button drops down and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds, you impatient bastard, as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. If Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. If it doesn't find it, the price will stay still. You are not having a stroke. You are just not saving money, you jabroni. Here at New Rockstars, off-screen producer Zach is a huge Honey fan, and I'm not just talking about that golden liquid he puts on all his healthy fruits to keep his Adonis body. He loves to buy tabletop board games, nerd. He can't stop bragging about how Honey saved him 10% on his recent game purchases. Well, we know he's not bragging about getting laid if he's bragging about his board game purchases. So I guess brag about one thing and not the other. I'm just kidding. Zach's in a very healthy relationship. I don't want to speculate on it. Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. $2 billion? You could buy a sports franchise for all the savings Honey has done. If you don't ever have... You could do it. If you don't already have Honey, what is the matter with you? You could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. We'd never recommend something we don't use. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/bigquestion. That's joinhoney.com/bigquestion. Yeah. Tell him Jonathan sent you.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but you don't have to be unhappy with your smile. Yeah. Candid has helped thousands of people with their clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners to help straighten their teeth. Justin M. from Atlanta, Georgia had this to say about Candid. When I was younger, I used to have a gap in the front and on the side. I noticed that people would always look at my mouth first, so I was looking for a fix. Candid ended up being the perfect company for me. You can't stop me from smiling now. There's no comparison. Your treatment is prescribed and closely monitored remotely by a licensed orthodontist. And you'll have the same quality of care that you'll get from an in-office orthodontist, but from home because of COVID-19. The average Candid treatment is just 6 months, and you'll start seeing results way before then, and it costs thousands less than traditional braces, so it's pretty good. Become your best you. Start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you can save $75 on Candid Starter Kit. Go to candidco.com/bigquestion and use the code BIGQUESTION. That's candidco.com/bigquestion using the code BIGQUESTION. Take advantage of this limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. candidco.com/bigquestion. That is code BIGQUESTION.
All right, it's time for a segment that I love because I'm all about nibbling. You know, some people go for the big meals. Me, no, I just eat 17 small meals a day to keep this figure. It's a shake for breakfast, another shake for breakfast, 5 more shakes for breakfast, lunch, and then 15 dinners.
What about 11sies?
Now, here's the bite-sized question for today. Can Odin enchant anything he wishes the way he enchanted Mjolnir? That was asked by Janice Juliges on Discord. Janice, Julijs. Janice Juliges.
Janice Juliges.
I drank a lot of gin and juice, and then I took a question from Janice Juliges. She's probably the nicest person ever, and we're just butchering her name. I'm sorry, Janice.
I'm so sorry, Janice. Thank you for your question.
All right, go ahead.
That's a great question, Tommy, because in the MCU, we have only seen Odin place an enchantment on one item, Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. He does this by channeling the power of the Odin Force in order to cast the spell on the mighty hammer through the phrase, "Whosoever holds this hammer, if he shall be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." While we don't see him enchant any other items before he dissolves in a very sad scene in Thor Ragnarok, in the comics, Odin has been known to enchant some other items. Items like Stormbreaker, the very same hammer we saw in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, was originally created in the comics for the Marvel hero Beta Ray Bill, a horse-looking man who can hit real good with a different hammer than Thor Stormbreaker. Odin enchants the hammer to give it similar worthiness properties as Mjolnir and the ability to transform Beta Ray Bill into his mortal Corbinite form, which is a very versatile hammer. I don't know much hammers that can do that, Tommy.
No, not me. Definitely nothing by Black & Decker.
Oh, no, I checked Home Depot. I went up and down those aisles, and they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. Please leave, sir. And I was like, I know the hammer's here. I know it. They choked me out with one of their Home Depot smocks. It was pretty crazy. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway.
They shouldn't have done that to you. Give me my enchanted hammer, you fools!
And Odin also enchants a mace called Thunderstrike with similar properties to Mjolnir, as well as Allspeak, which gives the wielder the ability to speak and understand any language in the 9 realms, including Groot, probably.
I am Groot.
Whoa!
I would love to understand Groot, because I don't. I know I like to pretend that I do, but I don't. I've only watched Guardians of the Galaxy a million times.
I appreciate you being vulnerable with me here. You know, I feel safe being able to tell you secrets, too. I also don't speak Groot.
You know, I put it down that I did on my resume, but it's a lie.
I had to speak Groot for a Sonic commercial, and they called my bluff. They saw it on my resume. It was an audition, and I panicked, and I ended up speaking something far more offensive, so it was bad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the job.
See, at least you didn't go to Baskin Robbins, because that's because Baskin Robbins always finds out. So,
That's true.
You know.
They know. That's their slogan. Baskin Robbins, try us and find out.
They always find out, like an Ant-Man. I don't know what I'm saying. All right. And Thunderstrike was used by Eric Masterson, a human who has merged with Thor at some point before kicking his ass all on his own. And another mystic warhammer enchanted by Odin was Crusher, which is a really hardcore name. Yeah. This holy weapon was utilized by Red Norvel, Thor of the Crimson Locks. Again, similar properties as Mjolnir, but this warhammer also can manipulate matter on a molecular level, which is pretty dope, I've got to say. That's pretty crazy. And giving the wielder the ability to transmute elements, like some type of alchemist or something. It's crazy. And Crusher can also create wormholes, allowing the wielder to teleport from one place to another without the use of a Toyota Prius like me.
Delightful.
And in the comics, Odin uses a lot of enchanted weapons and objects, some of which may have come to him enchanted already, but others he could have easily enchanted himself for his own benefit. I mean, he's Odin, and the magic of the All-Father is all-powerful. And one thing to note, but when it comes to the worthiness enchantment on Mjolnir, Odin is immune, so he can alter any of the enchantments as he sees fit.
Oh, how convenient for him.
Right? He's just like, hey, you can't use your hammer, Thor, but I can use it because
I can do it.
It's my hammer, bro.
What a freaking dad rule. I can use it because I say so.
It's like, you can't have it anymore because you're being an asshole and I say so. So
you're not worthy, Dad. You're not worthy, son.
How about that? I'm always worthy.
That's right. All right. Well, let's second question. Let's stay in this world of Thor. Can Doctor Strange lift Thor's hammer using Eldritch Magic? That's asked by Dragonfruit, also on the Discord.
Eldritch Magic is the style of magic utilized by Dr. Stephen Strange and all of the masters of the mystic arts. Now, Dr. Strange is also the Sorcerer Supreme, making him the most skilled practitioner of Eldritch Magic in our world. And even the Ancient One foresaw that Dr. Strange would be the best Sorcerer Supreme our world has ever seen. Ain't no one better than Dr. Strange, Tommy. And when it comes to lifting Mjolnir, only those that are worthy have the power to physically lift it, thanks to the enchantment placed on it by Odin. Now, there may be some sort of levitation spell that Doctor Strange could conjure up that could move the hammer without him physically touching it, but that wouldn't give him the power of Thor at all. And Doctor Strange might also not be able to use magic to lift the hammer, as the forces behind the hammer come from the all-powerful Odin force, which means that it comes down to which magic is more powerful, Doctor Strange's magic or Odin's magic. And I'm gonna have to say Odin has my money's on Odin on this one, because he's just the god. He's a god, man. He's a god figure. Yeah. And the Odin force is something that Doctor Strange hasn't learned in is one of his little nerd library books, I don't think.
Yeah, read that in one of your books, nerd. Got him.
Having fun is a little bit hard when you have a library card that doesn't have a library with the Odin Force in it.
That's true, yes.
That was an Arthur joke. You don't have to put that in.
I like that. All Arthur jokes included.
However, after the events of Infinity War and Endgame, where Doctor Strange sacrifices his life and the Time Stone to ultimately save the universe, I mean, I would say that he should probably take another go at lifting Mjolnir, because he did some pretty selfless things. And in Doctor Strange 1, he died like a zillion times to save the universe with Dormammu. So I know that Doctor Strange has a little bit of an ego problem that he's working on, but I would say just give it another shot. It couldn't hurt. Oh, well, it's gone now. I guess there's no more hammer to lift up. But hey, give it a go when it comes back. Yes. But we have reached the end of the show, which means that it's time for the greatest segment of all time, Tommy. And do you know what that segment is? Box of Scraps! It's Box of Scraps!
Yes.
And now, keeping up with the theme of Godzilla vs. Kong, today's Box of Scraps question is, Tommy, if you got to be the monster whisperer for any giant kaiju of any type, which type would you choose and why?
This is
you don't have to answer and why.
Such a great question. I love this. I'm thinking through my Rolodex of giant creatures, and it's like there's so many to pick from. Would I pick Mothra to fly through the sky? Would I pick, one of the kaiju from Pacific Rim that were like, a 3-headed monster or a 4-headed monster? But in the end, MT, there's really only one giant creature that I want to be a whisperer for, and that's Clifford the Big Red Dog. Because let me tell you
God.
Why. Dogs are man best friend. You get Clifford the Big Red Dog to listen to your every command. He's bending over. He's putting you up on his head. He's walking you around the town on the back of a giant, adorable dog. Do you know how many chicks you would get if you could command Clifford the Big Red Dog?
Infinity chicks, Tommy. Infinity.
So many babes eating out of the palm of your hand if you could control Clifford the Big Red Dog. How about you, MT? What do you got?
Damn, that's a good one. That's honestly a really good one. I wish I thought about that first. But I think just for comedy's sake, yes, I would love to see a giant kaiju sloth.
Yeah.
Because that would just be hilarious.
Oh my God.
He's just hanging off of the Empire State Building, just being really chill and extra slow because he's massive. So it's just
yes,
hello everyone. And the military was just you won't shoot at it. It's not really doing anything.
He's kind of cool.
But that's just me. But that's it for this episode of Big Question. Thank you so much to Tommy, as always, for joining me on this episode. You can follow him at Tommy Bechtold, and you can follow me at Mastertainment on Twitter and Instagram and all that shit. And of course, follow New Rockstars, send us your big questions using the hashtag BigQuestion, and subscribe to the podcast feed, and give us a nice rating and review, please, because that really helps us out. It's a huge help, so please, leave that. And subscribe to New Rockstars here on YouTube, and hit that notification bell because you gotta know when we upload stuff, because we be uploading. We do be uploading every day, pretty much. Well, not every day, just, very regularly. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.